Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. So today, it's been a while since I last posted, but today is actually a very fun and exciting day for me because I have an update to give you, and that is the waxed amaryllis. I don't know if you remember, but I potted it up last year, well, 3 of them, and they are actually blooming right now. So it's just so exciting for me. And just before I show you those, I thought I'd show you some of the beautiful orchids that are blooming in the house right now. And these have been blooming for me for just, I think, over 3 months now. They've been blooming, since the end of the year, all throughout the New Year's. And it's like I said, we're about a week, just over a week away from spring, and they are still in full blooms. I do have a number of these throughout the house, but since these are sitting here in a kitchen, I thought I'd just show you. They were just really beautiful. And I love the fact that, if you count the number of blooms, I think this one I have 1 stalk here and then 1 stalk here, but they're just full of blooms. And for those of you that love orchids, these are almost I could almost say they're my absolute favorite indoor flowering plants, because these bloom for me and they bloom so long. And so it just makes our winter so much better to see them in full blooms for such a long time. Just in case you forget, these 3, that's 1, 2, 3, I bought them in a pack of 3 from Costco, and they were waxed, and they bloom beautiful for me. And around I think this time last year, I actually removed the wax and planted the bulbs in soil. And throughout the summer, I had them placed in my back garden right here. And I think they were getting about 2-3 hours of evening sun. And then in the fall, I actually took them into the basement. I cut all the leaves and everything off, and I placed them in a dark corner up until I think 12 weeks ago. I took them out and they started forming stem leaves. And you can see this one here, there's 1, 2 stalk, and then on this one, it started blooming for me about a week ago, and then now there's a new stalk. This one, there's only 1 stalk of blooms, but it looks like it's about to open up right there. So I moved one of the plants here for you to see, just to kind of compare based on, the blooms when they were planted in the wax form versus in soil. So I found out last year when they're blooming from the wax, they were about 12 to 18 inches tall, and the blooms were a lot smaller. Whereas this year, when the blooms come out from the bulbs planted in soil, I find that this one here, it's a lot taller. It's almost about 26 inches tall from the base here all the way to the top of the bloom. So just in case you're wondering how they look and how they compare to, the previous form that they were blooming in the wax. I've also got the video of the filming of me potting the waxed amaryllis bulbs in the description for you. So if you want to check that out, that's where you can find the link. After the potting of the waxed amaryllis last year, I also gave each of the bulbs about a 1/4 teaspoon of my slow release all-purpose fertilizer. And that's just in case you're wondering if I gave it, any food. I'll put that description of the fertilizer that I've got for you on the description as well. And about 12 weeks ago, I took the bulbs out of the dark basement, and I placed them next to my west-facing window. So when I planted these last year, I know some of you told me that you couldn't get your waxed amaryllis to rebloom. And so I was kind of disappointed, thinking, oh, it might be a waste of time. And so I kind of didn't expect much. But in theory, if you think about it, if you are able to get the other, amaryllis bulbs to rebloom, so I was kind of hoping that this might be, the one time that I was going to be able to get them to bloom. But I was thinking, if it didn't bloom, I was going to be okay with it. Compared to the other amaryllis bulbs that I have, I find that for some reason these do take a little longer to come into full bloom. So I think with my other bulbs, they bloom about 8 to 10 weeks or so once I take them out of the dark basement. But I find that these, for some reason, you know, this one, for example, took about 12 weeks, but you can see I have 2 of the other bulbs in the other 2 pots are just starting to form blooms. So by the time they are fully open, I think that will be about 13 or even 14 weeks. So it could be that because these were, you know, planted from waxed form, and that might be the reason why, but I'm not sure. So hopefully by the time that I get these to bloom again next year, you know, I can be able to kind of document the length of time it took for them to start forming blooms. And for those of you that live in our garden zones or in our area or somewhere close to where we live, you know that we don't get a lot of sun and our winters can be very dark and long. And so it's really nice for me to be able to spread out the blooming of my amaryllis, because I do have many of them that bloom around the holiday season, which is Christmas and New Year. So I do save some so that I can get them to bloom throughout the entire winter. So that pretty much concludes today's video, and I just wanted to quickly give you an update on the amaryllis that I planted from the waxed form last year, so that, you know, just in case if yours is not blooming, you might be able to tweak things a little bit, and hopefully you can get yours to bloom as well. So thank you again for watching. I hope to see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.